The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, the HIPAA, is a federal law that required the creation of national standards to protect sensitive patient health information from being disclosed without the patient's consent or knowledge. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the HHS, issued a HIPAA privacy rule to implement the requirements of HIPAA. The HIPAA security rule protects a subset of information covered by the privacy rule. HIPAA is mandatory for covered entities like healthcare providers, healthcare clearinghouses, or business associates. There are 6 main areas you need to focus on when you're working on HIPAA compliance. Technical security measures. Technical measures for protecting the confidentiality of health information. Physical protections, making sure healthcare facilities are physically protected. Administrative protections, having the right policies and processes in the organization. Breach notifications, doing the right thing when incidents occur. Business associate agreements, processing agreements between your organization and third parties. And data privacy measures, fulfill the patient rights and protect health data. A number of technical safeguards must be in place to protect health information, such as the following. Control access. Each user is assigned a centrally controlled identity to access the systems. Procedures must also be in place to govern when to release or disclose health data if during an emergency. Encrypt devices. All endpoint devices that access the system should be able to encrypt and decrypt data. This is particularly important for mobile and laptop devices. Network encryption. Encrypt all health data to meet the NIST cryptographic standards anytime it's transmitted over an external network. Control activity audits. Detailed logging is needed to track all attempts to access health data and to monitor how the data is manipulated. Enable automatic log-off. Users must be logged out after a certain time frame, usually between 30 seconds and 3 minutes, depending on the application or system. What type of physical safeguards are needed? Control facility access. You want to carefully track the specific individuals who have physical access to data storage, not just engineers, but also repair people and even custodians. Manage workstations. Write a policy that limits which workstation can access health data. Describe how a screen should be guarded against parties at a distance and specify appropriate workstation use. Protect mobile units. You want the mobile device policies that removes all data before a device is circulated to another user. Risk assessment and management is a key consideration for HIPAA IT security. One way to help ensure risks are identified and appropriate controls are implemented as part of your HIPAA IT compliance program is to adopt NIST's cybersecurity framework. The NIST cybersecurity framework will help prevent data breaches and detect and respond to attacks in a HIPAA-compliant manner. So what administrative safeguards are needed? Risk assessment. Identify, analyze, create and then put measures in place to resolve the actions by completing a comprehensive risk assessment for all health data. Risk assessment is an ongoing process that must be reassessed at regular intervals with measures put in place to reduce the risks to an appropriate level. A sanctions policy must be introduced for employees who fail to comply with the HIPAA regulations. You need to train employees on all health data access protocols and how to recognize potential cybersecurity risks, such as phishing, hacking, and deception. You must be able to achieve ongoing business continuity, responding to disasters with a preparation process that keeps data safe. You must test your contingency plan on a regular basis with relation to all key software. A backup system and a restoration policy should be adopted. Be certain that parties that haven't been granted access, such as subcontractors or parent companies, cannot view health data. Sign business associate agreements with all partners. Document all security incidents. You have to note that this step is separate from the breach notification rule, which has to do with actual successful hacks. A security incident can be stopped internally before a data is breached. Staff should recognize and report these occurrences. The HIPAA breach notification rule requires covered entities and their business associates to report breaches of electronic protected health information. A breach is defined as the acquisition, access, use, or disclosure of protected health information in a manner not permitted by the HIPAA rules. If a breach has occurred, you have to report the following: a description of the electronic protected health information and the IDs involved. Who accessed the protected health information without authorization? Were the details just seen or copied? To what degree did your risk mitigation prevent the incident? The HIPAA privacy rule, amended in 2003, introduced a new administrative safeguard declaring that all covered entities must have a signed business associate agreement in place. Such agreements must be made with all business associates and covered entities that manage, process, or archive protected health information. The privacy rule demands that appropriate safeguards are implemented to protect the privacy of health information. It sets limits and conditions on the use and disclosure of that information without patient authorization. The rules also give patients rights over their health information, including the right to obtain a copy of their health records or examine them, and the ability to request corrections if necessary. Under the privacy rule, covered entities are required to respond to patient access requests within 30 days. Covered entities are also advised to provide training to employees to ensure that they are aware of what information may or may not be shared outside of an organization's security mechanism. Ensure appropriate steps are taken to maintain the integrity of protected health information and the individual personal identifiers of patients. Ensure written permission is obtained from patients before their health information is used for purposes such as marketing, fundraising, or research. Take the comprehensive course to learn more about cloud security architecture. In this course, you will get hands-on experience using the NIST-CSF framework for building a holistic cloud security architecture. The course offers downloadable templates that you can use in your own work. Go to cloudsarc.org to get a course discount and discover more resources for cloud security architecture.